Well, the Canterbury District Transport Strategy sets out a whole raft of measures that this development must deliver. So that includes a new junction on the A2. It includes a new enlarged park and ride adjacent to that junction to accommodate 1,000 cars. It also requires us to construct a fast bus route between the site and the city centre and to enhance the network of cycle routes and pedestrian routes between the site and the city centre. We're also required to look at some more innovative measures such as car share clubs so that people who perhaps can't avoid driving for their journey have an opportunity to hook up with someone who's also driving, therefore putting less cars on the road. We're looking at innovation through apps, designing apps that will support the car clubs so people can hook up with each other as simply as possible. So we're looking at subsidising bus travel as well. So people moving into the development will have subsidised bus travel for the first 18 months. That includes a period of free bus travel, because what we have found is that if you can change and influence people's behaviour from the day that they move into the development, they're much more likely to stick with those good habits over the longer term. We're also looking at some more exciting measures around providing some of the houses with electric buses. We're going to be installing electric vehicle charging points, because as we move towards more people driving electric vehicles, we want to make sure that they can charge those vehicles overnight at their own home. And also we're starting to look at how we can make it easier for people to walk and cycle around the development. So we're currently looking at the design of a bridge over New Dover Road to link up those longer distance cycle paths to make it easier, for example, for people to cycle safely between the village of Bridge and the city centre. Okay, so one of the things that's an important feature of the master plan is that we're looking at how we can internalise trips to stop people having to travel on the existing road network. So how we do that, for instance, is we're building 2 new primary schools within the site, we're building a range of shops, we're building a local GP surgery, we're building 70,000 square metres of employment floor space, which is an awful lot of employment floor space, can accommodate a lot of jobs. By doing that, people who live at Mountfield Park don't actually need to travel very far from their home to reach a lot of those facilities. So that way we can really begin to reduce the number of people that are driving around Canterbury. And then if we add to that the buses and the cycles and the walking, we really start to have a huge impact on the number of vehicles that we're putting onto the roads. That number starts to come down quite considerably, particularly at peak hour, in the morning when people are leaving home and in the evening when they're coming home, so we understand how we're going to help reduce the impact of cars on the highway network. Yes, we've worked with the County Council and the City Council for a number of years now, and these proposals have been drawn up. Full discussion with them and taking on board the emerging policy in the local plan and the transport strategy, so that when we submitted the planning application, we made sure that the proposals were completely policy compliant. Yeah, this is an interesting one, because when we did the public consultation, a number of people asked the same question. The challenge that we've got here is that there is an existing station just down the line at Patricksbourne, and we understand that Network Rail and the train operators are reluctant to have too many stations in close proximity because it slows down the passage of the train. What we also need to factor in is the fact that the railway line runs along the northern side of the site, and for a lot of people, particularly those who live within the southern part of the site, it's just as quick for them to cycle to the city centre as it would be for them to cycle or walk, say, to a new train station. So for that reason, on balance, the train station didn't look terribly attractive. We also know that this line runs into Canterbury East, and we suspect a lot of people, in the morning in particular, will be looking to access Canterbury West. So we're not really solving a problem. The fast bus that's proposed will run to Canterbury West Station, so I think we're tailoring the transport strategy to the nature of the demand for travel that's likely to arise.